Welcome to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, a homeschool mom, entrepreneur, and educator with over 20 years of experience in the areas of elementary and special education. It's my mission to help you create lifelong learners and embrace a holistic approach to education at home. I'll be sharing practical strategies, inspiration, and resources to support your family. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, or balancing work and homeschool, you're in the right place to connect with a community that values education just as much as you do. Join us each week as we ditch the stress, embrace the joy of learning, and set your family up for a lifetime of success. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, your home education expert. Well, today we've got the holidays fast approaching, less than 5 weeks away, I think we are, from Christmas, and I want to share with you some gift ideas that you can make with or without your kids. So these are some easier gift ideas, maybe a little less expensive gift ideas that could be great for teachers or people, your neighbors. They could be perfect for family members as well, but these are just some homemade gifts that you can put together that are relatively quick, maybe a little less expensive, and still a perfect gift for those on your list this holiday season. So I want to know, who are the people that you have to buy for this holiday season? Is it your kids? Is it your parents? Like, who on your list, one, is a difficult person to shop for? And who all do you buy for? Do you buy for your neighbors? Do you buy for the teachers, the bus driver, your child's dance teacher, right? Who are those people that are on your list? I would love to know those so you can join the Home Education with Ease Facebook group and let us know some of the people on your list and some of the ideas that you have this holiday season. Because I know sometimes I really get creative and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a great idea. Or something inspired me to, come up with this idea. So today I'm going to share a few of those ideas that I have used over the past few years that have been pretty good hits. And I just think they're really good practical gifts as well. So think of that person that's kind of tough to buy for, but these are some of the things that could fit those people that are more difficult to buy for on your list. So let's dive in. One of the thing that I was thinking of, so this past weekend, I was making pancakes, and we do sourdough in our family. It's something that I started, 2 or 3 Thanksgivings ago. And I know that I've shared this story with you guys before, but I'm going to share it now again. With Thanksgiving approaching, I got the sourdough starter from someone locally in my area. And I remember my goal was that I was going to make Thanksgiving rolls with this sourdough starter. That was the biggest thing that we were going to do, that I was going to do with that. And I remember that night bringing this home, this sourdough starter, and just saying over and over, I'm going to kill this thing. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to take care of it. Like, literally, it was like having a baby, this little jar baby of sourdough. And I had no idea what to do. I'm looking up all the videos. I'm asking people, because at that point, there were still not as many people, at least in my circle, that were doing sourdough. So I didn't have that many people that I could ask. But let me tell you, once I started doing it, pretty much everyone that I know now does sourdough. So it was just very interesting how it was like no one and now everyone. And so I brought this sourdough starter home. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I start to figure it out, right? I start watching videos and I start researching and figuring it out. And I just let you know, it's survived. Lola, she has survived and she's still going strong 3 years later. But that first Thanksgiving, I wanted to make rolls, and I totally did not read the recipe. I still was a sourdough newbie for sure. I didn't understand all the proofing. I didn't understand all the things that had to go into making these rolls, right? So we go to make the rolls and everyone's starting to show up. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, Well, then I read that this has to proof for another hour and then you can bake it. And I was like, okay, guys, my Thanksgiving rolls, that's all I wanted. They didn't come out of the oven until 9 p.m. that Thanksgiving. And I just, as everyone was leaving, I was giving them parting gifts as Thanksgiving rolls. That's what they were taking home that evening. So, yeah, just if you do sourdough and if you are just starting out, there is a learning curve a little bit, or at least there was for me. So, all right. So let's get back to a few of these gift ideas. But guys, I have made so many things with sourdough now, and it has turned into a beautiful gift idea for many people. I've made bread, I've made rolls, I've made donuts. You can make bagels. I have not made bagels yet, but I have had friends that made bagels. You can make brownies. Seriously, anything that you can think of, you can make it with sourdough. So one of our favorite things to make on a Saturday morning are sourdough pancakes. They are so fluffy, so delicious. And we were mixing it up. I was actually mixing it up the night before because I wanted to be quick on a Saturday morning, right? So I'm mixing up the batter. And I was like, oh my goodness, this would be such a cute gift idea. And I know I've seen things like this before, right? But getting a mason jar, putting the dry ingredients in for a pancake recipe. It could be sourdough or it could not be sourdough, right? It doesn't matter one way or the other. But you could put all the dry ingredients in a mason jar. You could put a little bow around it. And you could put a spatula with it, a bowl, whatever you would want to add to it, right? Think things that you would make pancakes with. It could be even a bottle of syrup. I know that we have this delicious vanilla maple syrup at Costco, and it is so good. So that would be something that you could add to this as well. I know one year I had a client that they have, and she still has it, a maple syrup farm and a garlic farm in New York. And I bought a case of the maple syrup, and that's what I gave out with pancake mix. Now, at that point, I wasn't very creative. I literally went and bought a bag of pancake mix, which works just as well, guys. So if you just want to buy a bag of pancake mix and have a jar of maple syrup and a spatula, boom, you now have a super cute and practical gift idea. Pancake mix, right? Everyone loves it. So then all they have to do is throw in their wet ingredients and now they can make pancakes. So that is one idea that you can make. And there's so many variations. Like I said, you could do a bowl, you could do a spatula, an oven mitt. Well, no, you wouldn't do an oven mitt for this. The next one you'll do an oven mitt for. Putting a little bow around it, putting in it a gift bag, all of the different things that you can do with the pancake mix. So that was one idea that I thought of this past weekend that I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to just share different gift ideas that we've done over the years to be able to help, because sometimes we just get in that like, what am I going to buy these people, right? Another gift idea kind of along the same lines is a cookie kit. And with this, you could do a cookie mix, or again, you could measure out ingredients, put it in a mason jar, and then they just have to add their wet ingredients to it. So that's one thing that you can do. This one, you can add an oven mitt. You could do a bowl. I've done it before where I got like a big bowl. I think I even just got it at the dollar store, but you can get a nice bowl, whatever kind of bowl you want. And I put all of the stuff in there with red and green tissue paper throughout it. And it was just even a housewarming or not a housewarming, but a gift that I gave to the host when I went to a Christmas party, because it was like, here you go. This is something that was fun for me to make, especially with the kids, because they loved coming up with just some of the ideas and things to put in the bowls and in the kits. So think about that. Think about cookie mix, spatula, sprinkles, icing, cookie cutters, all of these things. I know at Target for sure. I remember I got all of those things for like $1 each. So again, these can be relatively inexpensive gifts, but still very thoughtful and very practical and a decent gift, right? I would enjoy that for sure, because who doesn't love to make cookies, or who doesn't love pancakes? So along the same lines of this could be homemade vanilla. So at Costco this past a couple weeks ago, they had a jar of vanilla beans. And you make homemade vanilla by putting vanilla beans in a jar with alcohol, vodka, and then you let that sit. And I have to research. I don't quite know how long you let that sit, but you let that sit and now you have homemade vanilla extract. So that was a gift that I received 2 years ago. Was it? Yeah, because it wasn't last Christmas. It was the Christmas before that. And I still am using that vanilla extract because every time you use it, you just top it off again with the vodka and let it sit for a while. And then your vanilla it's perfect. So that's another idea that's pretty simple. Again, you get a jar, you put a bow around it. That's what the gift was. And it had a little tag that told me, this will be good to use, such and such date. And then just top it off with vodka every time you use it, and you can continue to use this. So I love that. I love these kind of practical gifts, and I hope that these are going to be helpful for you as well. So another idea along like the bowl, the whole kit idea, right, is a movie night idea. So you could do a popcorn bucket or even a bowl, and you could put popcorn, you could do a bag of popcorn, right, that's already popped, or you can get microwavable popcorn and you can put that in the bowl. You could just add some movie theater snacks, like think those big things of candy, the box of candy or things like that. And you can put those in the bowl. You can, I don't know, do we even buy DVDs anymore? Like you could put a DVD in if we still buy DVDs, right? I know that we buy them only for our car because we travel, right? We travel from Pittsburgh to Georgia, back and forth, Georgia to Pittsburgh constantly. So it's a 12-hour drive every time we go. And the kids have transitioned out of, when we first started making these trips, they were still into Disney movies. And now we've transitioned into other, more age-appropriate movies for them. So that's why I buy DVDs. Other than that, we don't even buy DVDs. So maybe maybe we don't buy them anymore, but maybe it's putting in a gift card for the movie theater, right? And I know there's not always great movies out, but maybe there's some coming out. A little tip about movie theaters. If you check your local movie theater, I know for us, Tuesdays are half off movies. And you can go anytime. You can go in the morning, you can go during the day, in the evening, half off movies at the theater here in Georgia or in Evans, Augusta. I don't know what it is everywhere. It might be a different day other places, but I was like, this is the perfect day to go, right? So keep that in mind too for you or for your gift-giving people. So movie night idea, that could change, like I said, tickets or gift card or whatever you're going to put in there, but that's another idea. You could even throw a blanket in there if it's going to be like a cozy in-home movie. You can throw a blanket with that as well. Another idea would be to do trail mix. And Alex has just, for his entrepreneur sale that he's been doing, he's been selling trail mix and lemonade, and he has measured out his trail mix. Everything was proportioned evenly, and so he made all of this trail mix. So this was inspired by that. If you were to take that trail mix, put it into a mason jar again or some kind of a bag, something like that, that would be another good gift idea. Put a ribbon around it, nice and easy, right? Obviously, a lot of these are consumable items and then things that people are going to use afterwards. So that's kind of where I'm going with a lot of these ideas. I do have a couple other like things that you might wear. So we'll get to those in a bit. Another recipe that I'm going to share with you, this is a recipe that is in our EduPlay Learning Holiday Activity Kit. So I'm going to share this with you now, but you guys can always get this recipe in our activity kit as well. But it's holiday popcorn and it has white chocolate. So someone must have made this for me when I was teaching or sometime. I'm not sure when I got this recipe, but for years I would make it for every single party that we had. And I made it for our gender reveal parties for both of my kids because it's so easy and you can change up the colors all the time. So what you do is just get like that big bag of popcorn. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it, but it's like a white bag. It's just plain popcorn. And I just get it at Costco, right? But you can get it anywhere. But I would get this big bag of popcorn. It's white and green. And you would take that popcorn and you would melt white chocolate and mix it all around. Cover up the popcorn. I would just do one bowl at a time because, it could be hard to mix it all up, right? So you just cover all of that with white chocolate. You put it onto a parchment paper lined pan, and you're going to put that in your freezer. And you're going to let it just harden. I even remember one year in Pittsburgh, we put it outside because it was so cold, right? Because I had so many batches of this going. So you just want that white chocolate to harden up. Oh, before you put it in the freezer, sorry, I forgot. Before you put it in the freezer, you're going to want to sprinkle it with sprinkles, or that's when you're going to want to add your add-ons. You can even throw in pretzel sticks or M&Ms. You could do red and green. You could do different colored sprinkles. So when I did it for the gender reveal, I did blue and pink. And for the holiday popcorn, I've done all different kind of holiday sprinkles. I've done red, I've done green, I've done gold. So you can do different colors on that popcorn, and then you're going to pop it in the freezer. And then whenever it hardens, that's when you're going to break it up, and you can put it into some holiday bags. You can put it into tins, and those are great gift ideas. And I remember people would say to me, "This is so good. Like, please just bring this to me every year." They just love it so much. So those are, like I said, these are some of those gift ideas that are pretty easy to do, pretty inexpensive, and they're hits all the time. All right, let's talk about a few more food-related items, and then we're going to get to some other items that are not food-related, but I have one or two more food-related. So another one would be a mug with either hot chocolate or coffee or tea, and you can put that in your mug, and then you could, add that with a journal, or like I said, or that could be the gift itself, right? It could just be a mug with hot chocolate, tea, or coffee. And I know a mug is something that, you might get a lot of those. So it could be, maybe it's a Starbucks cup, or I don't know. You can think about it, right? But it's just another idea. And then the homemade part of this you could add is I just made homemade marshmallows. And you might think, oh my gosh, that sounds ridiculous. And I wanted to do this for so long, but I just kept putting it off because, again, I thought it was like, that's so hard. Who's going to make homemade marshmallows, right? But I did it. I did it this past year on Halloween, and it was so easy to make. I happened to see the recipe in the middle of the night that night. I got some gelatin from a friend, and I made it. We whipped it up very quickly in the mixer. We let it set, and they were so good. So that's something that you can even think about. You can look at making homemade marshmallows, adding that with your hot chocolate. So again, these are some of the ideas. I would love to know so far, what are some of these ideas that are like, yes, I can definitely do that, and I know who that could go to. I would love to know that. You can drop that in the Home Education with Ease Facebook group. Let us know, what are some of the gift ideas that you are going to have? What are you going to do for the people on your list this year? All right, so now we're going to step away. Oh, wait, one more before we step away from food. You can always make things. So you could make cookies. You could make bread. You can make regular bread. Or for me, I do sourdough. So you can make mini loaves of bread. You can make full loaves of bread. You can make donuts, brownies, so many things. Cinnamon rolls. Oh, that's another good one. Cinnamon rolls are really good for Christmas. That is what we have every Christmas whenever we do our family Christmas. So we do a family Christmas here in Georgia with me, my husband, and Ella and Alex. And then we also do cinnamon rolls in Pittsburgh whenever we're at my parents, and we do Christmas with my family as well. So cinnamon rolls are definitely one of our favorite Christmas traditions, that's for sure. And they're so yummy. So if you want any of these recipes, I would love for you to, like I said, join us in the Facebook group and just drop in the comments like recipe. Christine, I need these recipes, or send me a private message, all platforms you can find me, and then I will get you some of these recipes as well. All right, let's step away from the food and let's make some homemade gifts that are pretty easy to make, I would have to say. So one, let's start off with, if you have younger kiddos, an easy gift idea for grandparents, aunts and uncles, handprint crafts or ornaments. Those are super easy. I guess it depends on how easy it is to do the handprint with your child, right? Handprint or footprint. But I know that me as a mom, and I know my kids are not even that old, but 8 and 10, to be able to look back at their little footprints or handprints, it's just so special. And I know that's something too for the grandparents to be like, oh, look at your little footprint or your little handprint. So that's something you can do on either an ornament, or I always would do canvases. You could do like a salt dough recipe as well. So those are some things that you could do that are something to look back on and, just a little memory each year. So Ella has actually been making a ton of gifts. So she's actually on it. She has so many more people crossed off on her Christmas list this year than I do already. And I love it. I love that she has put the time and the effort and said like, okay, this person likes this animal, or this person likes this color. And she did even ask, like, do you want a blanket or do you want a scarf? Do you want a stuffed animal? And what's your favorite stuffed animal? What's your favorite color, right? So she was asking the questions, but I was just so impressed that she was like such a go-getter about it, and she made a stuffed animal. It's not very big, it fits in the palm of your hand, but like a narwhal stuffed animal. She made a little ducky, and she made a flower pillow. And what she did, she just asked on Canva, or just asked me to find on Canva a picture of a duck, right? And she did the outline, and she traced that on her fabric, and she did 2 of them, and then she sewed it together and stuffed it, and then put the details on it. She would cut felt out, and she sewed a feather on it. And she added the eye. Like, it was just very impressive, especially coming from me, who does not sew at all. Like, I don't sew. I don't like to sew. Back in home ec class in 7th grade, I had my best friend sew my buttons because that was not my jam. So to watch Ella just really flourish in this area, it's just so special to see. So that's something that maybe you can do, or maybe you can start to show your kids. And like, it doesn't matter what it looks like, right? She's hand sewing all of this. And for me, it's like, I'm just so impressed, it doesn't matter what it looks like. So that's something to keep in mind, something you can make with your kids. You can do, little animals or little pillows. So those are some kind of things. The other thing that she has gotten into was hand knitting. So she's not using needles, so it's pretty big. Like, the yarn is real chunky, and then the pattern, is real loose, but it's still beautiful. And she's made 2 scarves so far, and it has not taken her long at all. And she just watches YouTube videos and she figures it out, and then she goes for it, So these are some things to kind of keep in mind, some ideas that maybe you can research, and maybe there's something that you can make, or like I said, your kids can make. Some other things, maybe if you are talented in the sewing, crocheting, knitting area, maybe some crochet animals. I am always very impressed with the crochet animals that I see. I love the little bees. Those are my favorite. When I see them, I just love them so much. But I'm just always so impressed with those little crochet animals. So maybe that's something you can purchase, or maybe you can go to a farmer's market and purchase these things. If making things like this is not your jam, maybe you can go to a market and purchase them and support a local business, support a local family that is making these things. And then that way you have a gift, you've supported a local business, and it's a win-win, I think. So, all right, the last thing would be maybe some cozy socks or a blanket. Again, that one's a pretty easy one. You could always throw a gift card in for any of these. One of the years I did a gas gift card. Like if you have someone in your life that is just driving constantly, wouldn't a gas gift card be pretty cool, right? Like you're always in your car, you're always on the go. I know that, here's a gas gift card or a Chick-fil-A gift card or Starbucks or right somewhere if you know that they're constantly going, maybe that's something you can add to a gift for them. So these are some of the ideas. These are just tip of the iceberg. There's so many ideas out there. So I would love to know, what are some of the gift ideas that you have on your list this year? Who are you purchasing? Who are you buying for? And what are you getting them? And what are some other ideas that you can share that can help other people in the community, in the Home Education with Ease community, wherever you are? Maybe you post this and say, hey, what are some gift ideas? Here are some that I have. Here are some additional ones. And you can always tag this or link this podcast. I would love that so much. If you guys were to start sharing the podcast with your friends, your family, someone that you're like, you know what? This made me think of you, or we were just talking about this. You should check this out. That would mean so, so much to me. So if you were to link this, I would love that, and feel free to tag me as well. Well, I want to share a few things that I have that maybe would be good gift ideas for your kids. I have the EduPlay Learning Holiday Activity Kit, or even the Advent Calendar. So there are going to be activities per one activity a day, or you could just do it for a week, right? So again, less stress, but it's like on this day, on the first day, you're going to read a story. On the second day, you're going to sing a song. On the third day, you're going to do a craft. And I plan all of that out for you. So then that way you know exactly what to do on each day. And then you are able to just enjoy the time with your kids. You don't have to print anything. You don't have to search for any of the materials. I do all of the legwork for you. You get to open the box and you get to make memories with your kids. So if that's something that sounds like, yes, I really would love that this holiday season to, enjoy the month of December, and there's a bonus New Year's Eve activities in there as well. So you guys can do that as well. So there's, different, and there's math ideas, there's reading ideas, there's so much whenever it comes to the EduPlay Learning activity kits and collections. So I just wanted to share that with you, because some of you may not even know that's what I do, right? I create curriculum, I teach, and I help homeschool families, because I know I don't talk about it a ton here on the podcast. So this is something that I want to share with you, and I am going to drop that link in the show notes. Same with the Home Education with Ease Facebook group link. All of these links will be in the show notes, so you can check out the holiday activity kit or advent calendar, whichever way you want to take it. And you can make memories with your family this year. And then you can look ahead and say, oh, what does she have for, the winter months? Or I have activity kits for every month of the year or every season. And there's something for everyone. The activities are perfect for ages 5 and under, maybe 7 and under, depending on where your kids are, okay? So that 2 to 5 is definitely the sweet spot, but you could go 5, you could even go 0 to 2, depending on, what you want to do with your kids and how much, you can interact with your kids at that 0 to 2 age mark and say, you know what, because they want to do things with you. and you can certainly do these activities with them. It just looks different as they continue to get older and they continue to grow. And that's the beauty of EduPlay Learning, is that it grows with your kids. The first time that you do the collections, they may just be listening and they may be doing the movements and they may be watching the videos that I record. And then the next time they're participating more, they're writing, they're coloring. And then the third time they do it the next year, they're actually able to do all of the activities. So that's the beauty of EduPlay Learning, is that it grows with your child. And it's perfect for all ages and abilities, and it's easily able to be adapted. And that's the beauty of what I do, is I walk alongside you and I share with you ways that you can adapt and change the activities to best fit your kids' needs. So if you want more information, check that link out in the show notes below. Send me a DM, send me an email, however you want to get in touch with me, ask me all the questions, and we will get that box out to you and your family. Well, I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your holiday season. Like I said, if you have more gift ideas, I would love to know about them so I can keep sharing ideas, and maybe it'll give me an idea for someone on my list as well. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Thank you for tuning in to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I hope today's episode left you feeling empowered and ready to take the next steps on your home education journey. Your support means the world to me. Please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend. For even more resources, be sure to join the free Facebook group, Home Education with Ease, and visit eduplaylearning.com to explore programs and subscription kits. You can find the links and any other links mentioned in this episode in the show notes below. Remember, you're not alone. This community is here to support you every step of the way.